go. That's good, that's good, that's good. Maybe one more? Come on. Get this over there. You know you want to. Did I get him? Yes. Hey, welcome back. I got it right down that time. I probably won't put that in, but thank Jesus I beat him. That was hard. Fantoon. I didn't look at my notes. What am I doing today? What time is it? I'm all discombobulated. I do want to put the end in, so. I want to talk more about vaccine hesitancy because it's like a thing now. People are talking about it. Like I hear people at church talk about it and people at work talk about it. And I hear all the arguments and all the logics of like, oh, this is why I don't want to take it and this is why I do, why you should take it. And everybody has their reasons and I have my reason why I... Did I ever mention that I got it? I have to go back next week. I have my reasons for why I decided to get it. And I'm not 100% against forcing people to get it, but I know like in America you can't really do that, but I don't know. I understand why it might be a bad thing, because then what if something bad does happen and you're like, oh, you forced us to get this, and then people are dying from it. But you know China would do that. I'm pretty sure China... Is China doing that? They're like, everybody has to get a vaccine. But do you want to be like China? Or whatever. Shut up. But I don't want to get into arguments with people. I mean, I never get into arguments with anybody. But if anybody brought up like, oh, I'm not getting the vaccine, then I would... The most I should say... Because, like, I'm not a virologist, and I don't know anything about vaccines. I would... The snarkiest I would ever be is, like, I would just say, well, have you talked to a doctor about it? Like, your concerns. Your concerns are valid, whatever. Have you talked to, like, doctors about this? Or have you just, like, been scared by Fox News, and they have their Fox News doctors on there? And they're like, ooh, I don't know. This one person died from it, so nobody should ever get it. If you have a doctor that you trust, like, ask them, and they know more about it. And if they seem like they don't know anything about it, then ask a doctor who does seem like they do. Because sometimes people will ask doctors and they're like, oh, they said something stupid, so... But then, okay, so the doctor said something stupid, but then you're going to listen to someone else who said something stupid on the other side, who doesn't know anything either? Like, try to find better information. Don't go with worse information. How do I turn on the power? So that's what I would say to the person is like, well, talk to a doctor before you don't do it. I mean, play it safe for a month or whatever, and don't do it, and watch other people get the shot. And I can, to a certain degree, understand like not wanting to give your kids a vaccine, maybe. Still maybe not, but maybe a little bit. But like for yourself, I mean, what's the worst that happens? You die. Okay, well, you died for a good reason. You were trying to help people. That's why it's always kind of easy for me to do this stuff, because I don't have kids and I don't have anybody to worry about. So it's like, if I died from the vaccine, like, who cares? I wouldn't care. Where do I go? There's a secret down there, but I don't know if it's a good secret. Oh, you can freeze it. That's cool. So if anybody's watching, nobody's ever watching, but if anybody's watching and they're worried about the vaccine, don't listen to me. Talk to a doctor. Oops. Ask them your questions, like your valid questions about, like, well, did this get tested too quick, and did they release it too quick, and am I gonna ever get sick? Or no, I want that. Does it have a Bill Gates microchip in it? I mean, I can answer that one for you. The doctor's probably gonna say no. I don't understand why people dislike Bill Gates. He's like the only, like, literally the only billionaire who's, like, kind of okay. All the other billionaires are so terrible and they mistreat their workers. But Bill Gates, he made his $1 billion and then he left Microsoft. He's like, I don't want to be a CEO. Who cares about Microsoft? I have $100 billion. I'll never have to work again. I'll start my foundation and I'll try to cure malaria. That's, like, so cool. And I mean, that's what I would do if I was a billionaire. I don't want to work. I just want to cure stuff. I just want to end malaria. Or guinea worm or whatever he does. That's what I would do. Why am I stuck? I'll get the secret. I'm gonna fall. You know you're gonna fall. Use the X-ray. I never remember how to use this. Okay. It's up there. How do we get up there? Ooh. Am I supposed to be out here? Boo. I think it was a super missile. Baboosh! We did it. Vaccine hesitancy. Yeah, that was the whole note. Get a vaccine, would you, for crying out loud. The other thing I don't really understand. I mean, I guess I understand a little bit, but we're all worried about this herd immunity number. Like, oh, we got to reach 75%. That's the number. And we're all looking at the vaccine number. But 32 million people have gotten the coronavirus. That's 10% right there of the country. I know a lot of people who have gotten the vaccine were people who had tested positive, like old people and stuff. But I think a lot of people who, like in rural areas, and they don't want to get the vaccine, they're thinking, well, I already got sick from it, I don't need to get the vaccine. So those people should be counted towards herd immunity, I think. So we're closer to 75% than we think, I think. We just don't know how close. It could be 1% closer, and it could be 10% closer, and we don't know. But we're a little bit closer than we think. Right now we're at like 60%, but maybe we're 62%. Oh, it's interesting. I like reading Nate Silver's tweets because he's like, oh, what are we supposed to do with public policy to try to get the most people vaccinated? And it's interesting. I saw my Nonna. Did I talk about my Nonna? She's 99. She turned 99 like a month ago. But I saw her again for Mother's Day. And she told me she was pregnant for me to get a new job, to get a good job. Because I guess they told her that I was looking for a job. And I was like, okay, if prayer is a real thing, then my 99-year-old grandma praying to the cross on her wall, it's gotta work, right? That's what's gotta work. If God hears any prayers, he's gotta hear her prayer. It's my Nonna, she's 99. Give her whatever she wants. She survived the pandemic. I don't believe Nonna. She is gonna live to be 120 years old. That's the joke. We always joke about it whenever we see her. Oh, she's gonna outlive me, and she's gonna outlive everybody else. It's true. The thing that I want to see, I don't know if we're gonna see it, but she's already a great grandma. But she's pretty close to being a great grandma. I want to see that. I don't know if it's possible, but she's my grandma. And I have a cousin. So my cousin is her grandson. He has a son. So it's his great grandma, and he's in college. He's like 20 something. He's probably like 20. So if he has a son, then it would be a great grandma. It's never happened before in the history of grandmas. It probably has. I don't think it's very common though. Even to people who live to like 110. I don't know if they have like great grandchildren. But if she lives to 110, I think she could do it. Because he'd be 30. So. And he seems like a normal kid, like that might get married and stuff. Not like me. I'm not having a kid. I'll make a prediction here. If I ever have a kid, which I might never, I'll be at least 35. I feel like that's, if you're taking bets on it, I feel like that's pretty good odds. It's like 1,000 to 1 that I'll have a kid before 35. I'll take that bet. That's 7 years from now. Yeah. Long ways to go for that to ever happen. It doesn't seem as impossible for some reason as like maybe a couple years ago. But still, I don't see it in the next 8 years happening. I don't see it. I don't know if I want kids. I've talked about that before. I want to have a good reason. I feel like I could come up with a good reason, but right now I don't have one. The best reason right now is I don't have anybody to have a kid with, so that's kind of the first step, right? But still, even if I did get married, I don't know if I'd have a reason to have a kid. But I don't know, you could convince me probably. I can be convinced of things. I guess that's it for today, and I'll try to figure out where to go because I'm kind of lost. Oop. See you tomorrow. Bye. Well, I know we built C3PO when I heard how fast his pod can go. And we were broke, it's true. So we made a wager or two. Who? He was a prepubescent flying ace, and the minute Jabba started off that race, well, I knew we'd win first place. Boop 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 boop. They were singing my this year Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later. And I wish just a small fry. When he left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Bing 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 bing.